Trohina, Sindala, Oxagon, and the Line represent NEOM, Saudi Arabia's vision for the future, a cutting-edge, eco-friendly, and avant-garde megacity like no other. Although numerous trailers and videos highlighting the commencement of its construction captivated millions globally in October of the previous year, current updates on its progress prove elusive. The question arises, what developments have taken place and to what extent has construction progressed? Now, let's delve into the construction update of this visionary project. Initially unveiled in 2021 by Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the project stands as the nation's most ambitious mega-project to date. Envisaged as a self-sustaining linear city spanning over 100 kilometers from the Red Sea to the city of Tabuk in the east, the city is designed with 2,500-meter-tall buildings running parallel to one another. The city's blueprint aims for a pedestrian-centric environment where all essentials are within walking distance, and the entire urban express boasts zero cars, zero roads, and releases zero emissions. Certainly, an announcement of this nature stirred a plethora of reactions, particularly following the release of drone footage showcasing excavation efforts as far back as October 2022. However, details about the ongoing developments at the construction site remain relatively scarce. So, what is the current status? According to the most recent information available, substantial progress has been made on the project over the past year. In an exclusive interview with the project's executive director, it was disclosed that the construction of critical infrastructure is approximately 20% complete. This encompasses crucial elements such as roads, offices, and logistic hubs that are essential for the future phases of work on the site. These advancements are observable in satellite images spanning the entire length of the project. When compared to images from the previous year, significant transformations have taken place across these locations. For instance, the NEOM community now resembles and operates as a self-contained city, boasting numerous housing units, a school, a mosque, a post office, convenience stores, and even a bus station. Notably, the community has established its own Starbucks branch. In the interim, notable progress has been achieved in the excavation work for the main structure of the line over the past year. A scrutiny of Google Maps reveals a nearly continuous trace of the foundations from one end to the other. Concurrently, excavation efforts on the coastal segment, referred to as the Hidden Marina, are advancing impressively. Upon completion, this particular segment is poised to become the world's largest marina, capable of accommodating vessels up to twice the size of the current record holder, the Wonder of the Seas cruise ship. Presently, the Hidden Marina project stands as the most extensive excavation undertaking globally. A staggering amount, equivalent to 1 million cubic meters of earth, is being excavated on a weekly basis to pave the way for construction. Beyond the continuous excavation ongoing since the previous year, piling work has also been initiated for the primary structure. In the past year alone, over 4,500 individual piles have been installed on a designated section known as Module 43. At its zenith, more than 60 piles for the foundation of the structure were being installed daily. This rate is anticipated to surge in the coming months as construction gears up further. At long last, the dedicated underground rail system of the line, known as the Spine, has undergone significant modifications. By June 2023, there has been a substantial reduction in the overall scale of the entire system. Notably, the total length of the underground tunneling has been trimmed by more than 30 kilometers, and the number of stations has been streamlined from 48 to just 9. In the midst of all these transformative developments, the key questions arise. How will Saudi Arabia secure the funding for this endeavor? And which companies are playing pivotal roles? To begin with, the line, alongside the broader NEOM project, is directly funded and owned by the Saudi Public Investment Fund, the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia, under the direct control of the Crown Prince. As of now, the primary impetus driving the continual progress is the colossal sum of $700 billion. Ongoing contracts with various companies primarily encompasses excavation and foundation work involving prominent entities such as the UK-based Keller Group, Germany's Bauer, and the French firm Bachy Solitange. Simultaneously, the state-owned construction company Power China is overseeing the current piling work at the marina. In a recent development, the contract to construct a high-speed rail line connecting the line to Oxagon has been awarded to the Italian constructor Webuild and Saudi's Sagco. However, despite the recent and notably substantial advancements, the project continues to face well-founded criticisms. One noteworthy concern revolves around the inherent irony of the project's sustainability pledge. An expert from the University of New South Wales approximated that the construction of the entire city could result in a staggering total carbon footprint of up to 1.8 gigatons of CO2. To put this into perspective, this figure alone surpasses more than 4 times the annual emissions of the entire United Kingdom. The sheer scale of vertically stacking all elements of a city raises serious doubts about its long-term sustainability. Additionally, there are legitimate apprehensions regarding human rights issues. Numerous experts contend that residents were coerced to vacate their villages to make room for the construction site. According to the United Nations Human Rights Office, some protesters received lengthy prison sentence, and 3 individuals are currently at imminent risk of execution due to death sentences. This has emerged as a contentious issue that is poised to impact the project itself. Let's now examine the advancements in the next major development. Trohina, an extravagant luxury winter and skiing destination set amidst an expansive mountainous desert. While comparable in scale and extravagance to the other projects in NEOM, Trohina distinguishes itself by an ambitious timeline. Saudi Arabia aims to complete its construction within just 6 years. The catalyst for this urgency is the upcoming Asian Winter Games in 2029, for which the kingdom successfully secured hosting rights after a triumphant bid last year. The Crown Prince initially announced the project in 2022, mere months before the country's successful bid for the Winter Games. Situated approximately 50 kilometers from the Red Sea coast, Trohina is nestled within one of the nation's highest mountain ranges. Since the project's public unveiling, there has been consistent progress in its construction over the past year. Much of the work on Trohina involves extensive excavation around the mountains to facilitate various developments. A staggering 1.6 million cubic tons of material have already been excavated at the site, primarily for the creation of a vast man-made lake at the project's center. Progress on an area known as the Vault, Trohina's vertical village carved into the surrounding mountains, is also well underway. According to the project's executive director, over 1 million cubic tons of material have been excavated from the mountains for this purpose. Progress has been underway for the foundation work on the forthcoming ski village over the past year. Presently, the construction plan appears to be well on track, demonstrating considerable advancements within a year. Saudi Arabia appears steadfast in its commitment to the ambitious 2029 deadline, but despite this dedication, numerous unanswered questions persist. One of the primary criticisms leveled against Trohina pertains to the feasibility of sustaining a winter destination in such an environment. While temperatures in the mountains can plummet below freezing, actual snowfall remains infrequent. To establish enough snow cover for a functional ski resort, the project would heavily rely on artificial snow machines, which demand substantial amounts of water and electricity to operate. The challenges intensify when considering that seawater from the Red Sea will be utilized. Transporting this water over extensive distances and elevations becomes a logistical hurdle, compounded by the necessity of desalination. Now let's turn our attention to Sindala, another significant project currently in progress within NEOM. Positioned as NEOM's opulent island resort destination, situated off the city's coastline, Sindala enjoys a prime location along the Red Sea, accessible by boat, seaplane, or the nearby Neon Bay Airport. Envisioned as a world-class yachting destination, Sandala boasts an 86-berth marina. The island will also feature 3 luxurious hotels, a golf course, and an array of high-end restaurants and retail establishments. Initially unveiled in December of the previous year, this major project is slated to be the inaugural establishment to open within NEOM. Developers aim to welcome the island's first guests as early as 2024. The success of Sandala holds considerable significance for the entirety of NEOM, as its opening next year marks the initial opportunity for the public to immerse themselves in the experience of this futuristic city. With its impending opening date, Sandala is currently in advanced stages of construction. Analysis of satellite images on Google Maps reveals that most of the island is undergoing active construction, with roads already established and the fundamental layout of buildings and foundations already determined. Certain structures around the island's marina appear to be approaching completion, and a substantial portion of the planned golf course's grass has been laid out. Marriott International, having signed an agreement to operate 3 luxury hotels in Sandala, expresses confidence in completing construction in time for the scheduled 2024 opening. Simultaneously, to the island's northeast, a dedicated community has been established to support the project's development. This zone encompasses various offices, logistics hubs, housing units, and amenities for the individuals contributing to the site. Among all the major developments in NEOM, Sandala stands out as the most advanced and well-developed project. Finally, the 4th major undertaking with NEOM is Oxagon, a floating industrial port city positioned along the kingdom's western coast. Offering a brief overview, Oxagon is envisioned as the commercial and industrial nucleus of NEOM, strategically located in one of the world's busiest shipping routes. It is poised to support various emerging industries, including green energy. The project is set to house the port of NEOM, serving as the primary industrial and logistics hub for the future mega city. With a substantial investment of $2 billion, Saudi Arabia aims to open the port's inaugural terminal by 2025. Beyond its industrial role, Oxagon is designed to function as a self-sustained city, featuring dedicated residential, entertainment, leisure, and tourist districts. This comprehensive development, with an array of notable companies eyeing expansion opportunities, is scheduled to unveil its first terminal between 2025 and 2026, marking the introduction of the city's inaugural residence community. Despite the absence of substantive news on the construction progress, the advancement of the project has been modest. Satellite images of the site reveal the establishment of some infrastructure around the port of NEOM. Notably, it is important to recognize that certain buildings are remnants of the older Duba port, which has been recently relocated and rebranded to the newer port located slightly southward. An Oxagon community akin to those established around the line and Sandala has also been established. Relative to the entirety of NEOM, Oxagon appears to have undergone the least development. Assessing the constructed elements, it is evident that Saudi Arabia is earnest about translating their conceptual trailers into tangible realities. The ultimate outcome, however, remains to be seen in the future. I trust you found this update video enjoyable. Would you like to see more videos of this nature? What are your thoughts on the likelihood of NEOM's projects materializing? Share your opinions in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the next one shown on the screen. I'm sure you'll like it. Thanks for watching.